consideration.
Yeah.
Be discriminated against, you're too short. No matter how skilled you are, there comes a point when you can't use that skill because of your lack of height.
I mean, we'll just add this to the list of many reasons why me and you don't play in the NHL. Okay, Jonathan, I would like you to put your coaching cap back on. You've got the degree in it, haven't you? You're a smart lad. So, it's an official NHL game, or an official hockey game. You've turned up and you've brought your away kit. The home team have brought their home kit. And shock horror, it's a massive kit clash. In fact, it's not really a kit clash at all. It looks like both teams are wearing the same jerseys. The home team can't find their third kit. It's been eaten by the dog. And you're the away team, so you only brought one change of kit. Warm-up jerseys aren't going to cut it because they've been lost in the post. So you both wear... It's an amazing set of circumstances here.
But an identical kit.
More
Shirt,
or less.
shorts, socks, helmets, gloves, all the same.
Yeah. Amazingly, you've now got to coach a team facing off against another team wearing an identical kit. How do you do that?
Okay, at what point do we realise that it's identical? Have we noticed in warm-up?
I think that'll be when...
Okay.
I think that's when... Oh, lads, you know...
Actually, you probably wouldn't notice in warm-up, because you might just think they were in a warm-up shirt. Because there's plenty of games played with teams that have got black shorts and socks against black shorts and socks.
That's true.
Black skates on. The first thing that's come to mind is stick tape.
Yeah.
If we've got some coloured stick tape, if everyone could
That's not a bad
put
idea.
some white tape on their sticks,
You aim for the tape.
at least then, if you can see two sticks down, you're going to see which one's yours. Mm-hmm. You can always notice Ovechkin on the ice because he's got yellow laces in.
Yeah,
because nobody else has that. They jump out.
Yeah, okay.
It's only a little bit of colour, but it's noticeable because it's different.
If you were in the opposing team, though, wouldn't the first thing you do then would be to change your stick tape, wouldn't it? To add to the confusion.
Why was that helping them?
Because...
Okay, it disorientates us, but it doesn't help them.
I think it might do defensively. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about that area, it's covered, there's a stick that I recognise. You know.
Okay, all right. So my other thing is thinking is how can I tell players apart when they're on the same team? You can see the numbers.
Yeah.
But it's going to be difficult to look up and think, oh, a number 80. I know we've got a number 80, so I'll pass to him.
Yeah.
That's difficult. But you can always spot the players who've got hair out the back of their helmets.
Right.
So if someone's got a mullet, you can spot them.
So yeah,
They've got the flow.
Okay.
It's going to be really difficult to encourage players in the 20 minutes between end of warm-up to grow their hair longer. But should this rink also have a fancy dress shop?
Right, you just go get some beards.
We can go and get some wigs and some beards. Because that is a way of...
Is that in the rules?
Spotting at a glance, hair. I'll flip that
Are you allowed
across.
to wear fancy dress? Allowed to wear wigs?
Unless as long as it's tied down like a fight strap.
So basically, we're getting the kit boy to run to the nearest fancy dress shop and him going in and saying, I need 22 80s wigs, please.
Yeah. Or even just sort of, ponytails. Blonde ponytails. But when you're skating down the wing and you look up,
okay.
Yes, it's probably going to be the one who's skating backwards that's the defenseman.
Yeah.
But if the player's stuck at centre ice, if you can just glance up and see that little bit of blonde ponytail, you know that's one of your guys.
Okay.
And you can flick that pass across.
Okay.
Because otherwise, the majority of the game, you can tell by the way the player's skating which way they're trying to take the direction of play.
Yeah.
But I think if you could differentiate in terms of bootlaces, stick tape, hair, even the shaft of the stick, you should be able to put some coloured tape on the shaft of your stick.
Yeah.
You might not have coloured stick tape, but you might just have some sock tape. And I can't remember who it was. One of the players in the Elite League used to do his stick in a sort of like a barber shop.
Yeah.
Rotating red and white, and that was really easy to spot his stick out on the ice. If everybody did that, that's a little bit of an extra way you can identify a player.
It goes back to, though, how much does kit matter? like, how much do the players use kit as the visual sight thing to know there's a player there? Or are they looking visually for...
Yeah, because it's not like football where you have to wear different socks. So the referee can see, there's the defender coming in, and the ball bounces off the red sock last, so it's going to be a corner kick. And things like that. Hockey players can wear the same short socks, helmets, and there can be a lot of similar colour on shirts.
Well, I remember this is a long time ago, Alex Ferguson in like 97 blaming a loss on the fact that Man United wore that grey kit, didn't he? He said, the players weren't able to recognise each other. And I always remember just going, really? Really? And I think lots of people at the time questioned it.
I mean, you'd think a white kit would struggle to show up against the white ice.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's more the colour of the background crowd that's going to be more of an issue than the... There aren't many hockey teams that wear white shorts.
It's just how much do professionals use that level of... I mean, great lines, really, really good lines. They barely look at each other. They just know what everybody's going to be.
True, but you can't afford to have in hockey that moment of hesitation, which would come about in the... Is that my guy? So I'm thinking about a defenseman who has the puck behind his own goal, and he sees someone skating towards him.
Yeah.
Is that his left winger coming back to help the breakout?
Right.
Can you recognise someone's face that quickly? Possibly you can.
Yeah.
So you think, right, that's not my guy, so I'm going to look to pass it over to right wing side, or maybe behind the goal. And you see someone else skating back. Well, is that my right winger, or is that their left winger coming forward? That moment of hesitation might just be enough to cause a problem.
Okay.
And obviously, once whoever's got the puck, they've then got the same problem. So I think it would slow the game down.
How you think
because
so?
you have to take that extra moment to think, is this the pass I want to make?
Would it be a good game to watch?
I think I have a feeling the players would adapt, but I'm not quite sure how.
Yeah.
Maybe you would recognise the players by the faces a bit more.
Or would it just slow the pace down?
But you're going to really struggle with the adventurous plays.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it would do is it would encourage better communication out on the ice. You'll hear players calling for a drop pass and yelling out instructions for someone to come and lead the breakout.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're going to have to communicate a little bit more.
You're going to have to ask the crowd to be quiet, aren't you?
Like blind football?
A little bit, yeah. Because that visual element's been really taken away from you. So actually, over the smart coach will say, right, over the PA, I don't want any music, I don't want any announcements whilst the game is going.
I'm sure the away fans are going to really go for that.
Well, yeah, but then...
I suppose they're in the same situation.
They're in the same boat, aren't they? Yeah, exactly. So, excuse me, as you know, the players are wearing identical kits tonight. In order to facilitate this, we're asking all spectators to treat this game like a tennis match.
Well, the good thing is, I'm sure you can do this on the NHL game when you set the kits. If you just choose to play a game as Boston Bruins v Boston Bruins and set both teams in the home kit,
yes,
you're then going to get, and you just play a first line against first line match, you're going to see the names above your player.
And that's it.
And you're going to see the name of the opposition player, but he's the player that's also on your team in the same kit. So if someone wants to investigate this and have a go, let us know how they get on. Oh, have you?
Yeah, but there's a problem. On hockey games, they give you an indicator, a player 1 and player 2 indicator. So you can at least be assured of at least 2 of the players on the ice, and that helps a lot. The rest of it is just direction. If they're facing the right way, they're probably on my team. But yeah,
you're not doing that as a decoy as a player, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the player. I mean, because players try to do audibly now when they go behind somebody and slap the stick a few times on the ice.
Get them to do a drop pass to
no one. Yeah. Well, communication-wise, I mean, that's all it would be. Surely it would be lots of talking, but then lots of kind of, "Hey, I'm behind you. Oh, there you go. Oh, nuts."
Yeah, because I reckon you might be able to tell by looking, I recognise that's my teammate, or I recognise that's an opposition player.
The drop pass is dead.
But voice-wise, it's going to be harder to pick up was that Canadian accent my import forward, or was it theirs?
Or do you have to codify the game then? Is that when you're like... Because in some sports, and in World War II, for example, during D-Day, Americans would say the word thunder and reply with flash. And that was or flash and thunder. I can't remember which way around. Because anybody can say hello, who's there? It's me. So they had a code way of being able to greet each other, which is flash with the response thunder. maybe that's what you need to do with your players. Okay, we're going to say this word for pass now. We're going to say this word for shot. We're going to say this word. Do you see what I mean? And so, like, the opposition don't understand the language. I mean, it's what happens in American football, isn't it?
We may have to do that during the first period break.
You don't think you have the time to codify the entire...
I think that seems like something we'll come up with during the game, having played 20 minutes and realise, okay, well, that didn't work.
Okay.
Because in a game like that, nobody is favourite.
No.
But neither home or away side has advantage.
Imagine being the netminder.
Well, that's easy. Follow the puck.
Yeah.
You can see when someone's lining up for a slap shot in your direction.
Go away. No. Oh, sorry. You're not on my side. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, if someone comes and stands in front of you, either you can see their face or you can see their number and name, so you know whether it's friend or foe.
Yeah.
So I think the netminders are least affected. They're going to cover the puck a lot. Because I'm not sure if that person's skating towards me is a defenseman who wants to keep the play alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Or is someone closing in on me. So I think netminders are least affected.
That's interesting.
I think the game would be slightly slower.
I think it'd be a lot
full of
slower.
mistakes, but it will be. I think there will be many more goals because of turnovers and giveaways. That the forward on the puck doesn't know where to play it, and just gets it pinched.
Yeah,
and suddenly there's a breakaway going the other way.
Yeah,
so I think it's slightly more high scoring.
Yeah,
but I think it is obviously an absolute farce, and I'd like to see it once. So that's it for this episode of Hockey Hypothetical. If you've got any suggestions for future hypotheticals you'd like us to discuss, or any comments about the things that we've said today, hit us up on social media and leave us a comment. On behalf of Stephen Dowson, this is Jonathan Fernley saying goodbye.